Hello everyone. I lost my voice from the Black History TikTok event in LA. So if my voice sounds crazy, that's why. It is getting better though. It's getting better. I also broke a nail, so excuse that, alright? Today we're gonna be talking about my parents and how they are changing, okay? So you guys have followed me on this channel for quite some time, and I've been basically opening up about how my parents be pissing me the hell off, okay? How my parents are essentially very toxic. How my parents just don't get it. But lately I've seen that actually everything I have been telling them has actually been paying off, and I don't know how to handle it. I'm not even gonna lie. I will say that all the things that I've went through, from living in the hood, getting into fights, and honestly the fights that my parents have went through with each other, and the things that they have unconsciously done to me, have made me who I am today, okay? I'm very unemotional. I'm working on it, and I think I'm doing a lot better at it. But lately I have been working on actually voicing my opinions and basically telling my parents how they made me feel, in the hopes that they will change. And there's so many people, okay, if you have grown up Caribbean, specifically Haitian, you will know that telling your parents how you feel will ultimately backfire, okay? They will either curse you out, hit you, or they will literally completely ignore you and act like they legit did not do any of the things that you are telling them that they blatantly have done to you. And there's been so many times I've called my parents out for what they've done to me, and honestly they've probably just stared me dead blank in the face and just been like literally, like a lot of times they just haven't said anything, and I was just like, you know what, it's just like fucking talking to a brick wall. But lately I have seen that they are listening. They actually do care, and they have been changing, and it's actually kind of freaking me the fuck out. So recently my mom pissed me the hell off, okay? And I kind of had to go off on her. Lately I have been going off on my parents a lot more than usual in this past year, ever since I did move them, and I saw that they were literally so comfortable living in filth and so comfortable with letting me literally sit there and clean it up without them doing anything. I have talked about this already in a previous video. I probably will link it down below, but essentially I moved my parents out of the hood into a way better location, and in order to do that I had to basically move everything into bags and boxes and whatever, and it was so annoying because I thought they were gonna help me, but they just sat there and watched. Luckily I was able to give my dad something to do, and he helped, but it was just like I did literally 90% of the work. My mom sat there watching Facebook videos, going to sleep. Even when I gave her the task of doing just her own shit, she refused to do it. But then at the end of it all, they sat there and they blamed me for all the things that they had that went missing, or that the things that they couldn't find. And it's like, bro, but you could have got off your ass and helped. You know? So it's just interesting, because to this day it's been almost a year since they moved, and they still can't find certain things, and they're like, oh, it's my fault, right? So it's just been, you know, a lot of tension. You know, it's been a lot of things here and there, and it's like, should have got off your ass, right? Like I just don't have time. So it's very interesting, because that experience in itself helped me realize, like, yo, like, you guys are really like ungrateful as hell. And it's not even just that. Like for maybe about a year and a half, I did my parents' laundry. I took it, I did it in my house, or I took it and I did it in a laundromat, and it just became a thing where like they just expected me to do certain things. They expected me to take them to the supermarket, even though they continuously went to the supermarket on their own. They expected me to pick them up from certain places, even though they always took the bus, you know? So it's like, I have no problem doing things for certain people as long as you ask. I have no problem doing certain things for certain people as long as you are kind about it, as long as it's not one of those things where you're like, you have to do this, you're going to do this, I need you to do this, and you're going to do it with no questions asked. But it's like, my parents have this thing where it's like, oh, you're not going to do that, why not? Like, you have to because you're my child. It's gotten to the point where it's like, they'll do things without even a fucking thank you. Like, they'll do things without even like acknowledging that I have a life too, you know, without even acknowledging that, bro, you used to do this by yourself, and all of a sudden that I'm trying to be nice about it, you guys are expecting me to do these things, and you're not even being nice about it. You feel me? So it's gotten to a point where it's just like, I'm just getting really annoyed, and I'm being very tired. And now I'd be telling them like, yo, like, y'all be really getting on my damn nerves. And I'm the type of person, I don't bottle things up, and even if I do bottle it up for a little bit, you're going to see it written all over my face. So it's been a lot of tit for tat. I've literally done a couple of videos already the past couple months talking about these experiences, but lately it's been interesting because my parents have been changing. So one of the main ones is that I used to be like, yo, y'all only talk to me when y'all need something. Y'all don't ever call me to be like, hey, how are you? How's it been going? How's work? How's life? Every single time my parents would call me to be like, hey, we need money. Hey, I need a ride. Hey, we're running out of food. When are you gonna take us to the grocery store? It's It's never, I kid y'all not, ever since I moved out, it would always be, we need this. Never just to have a conversation. And it would stress me out because it's like I wouldn't hear from them for like a week. And then I get a call from them like, oh, maybe they need something, because that's the only time that y'all talk to me. It would never be, hey, how are you? So I would just not pick up the phone. And then when I call back, it's immediate, oh, we were calling you. Oh, I haven't heard from you. Oh, you can't just not pick up the phone. How about if it was something important? It's like, you see, this is annoying because I don't call because every single time I call you guys, you want a fucking favor. And that's annoying. And I don't want to talk to people that only want to talk to me when they need something. I get enough of that in my regular life from people that I haven't heard from in 5 to 6 years that call me to ask to borrow money. You feel me? So it's like, I don't need that from my parents as well. And I told them that, like, you guys only ask for me or look for me when you want something from me. You never ask me how I'm doing. And they were like, oh, no, that's not true. I said, yeah, it actually is. So apparently that happened where my mom was telling me that she told my dad that. And my dad was like, oh, damn, maybe I should start calling more. Because my mom actually, I guess she got the message and she actually does call more often, and she'd just be like, oh, how are you? Like, the shocking, like, she'll call me and be like, hey, how are you? What you doing? I just was calling because I haven't heard from you. Okay, bye. And that should be weird. Like, it catches me off guard now because I'm like, like, literally it's to the point where I'd be like, oh, you need money? Oh, something happened at your job? Like, because I'm so used to people doing that to me, and not even just my parents. And it's like, wow, thanks. I'm fine. And I'm just waiting for the favor. And apparently she ended up telling my dad that too, because my dad has this whole idea of, oh, I don't want to bother her, because my dad be like, oh, you always bothering her, you always bothering her. Like, that's always what my dad said. And my mom told my dad, because she was telling me, she was like, oh no, every single time we call her, she says it's for a favor, so you should start calling her more often. He was like, oh damn, that's what she said? He was like, oh well, because my dad doesn't like being on the phone, right? My dad is the type of person, he only talks on the phone for extended amounts of time with his sister. Okay, his sister, she lives in France, and that's the only person. If you hear him on the phone, every single time I'm in the house and I'm like, oh, that nigga on the phone, yep, it's probably with his sister. Like, he does not talk on the phone for any long amounts of time with anyone but her. So it's like, he don't call nobody. So like, every single time he calls me, I'm like, yup, that nigga needs some money. Yup, that nigga wants me to apply for a job for him, like somewhere that he can't do by himself. Like, he never ever calls me to ask me how I am. But I guess it's because he really doesn't want to bother me, because he always be coming at my mom for that. Like, oh, leave her alone, you're bothering her, she's busy, she's at work, she's, you know, she's tired. Like, so I think with my dad, that's what it is. But literally, I kid you not, my dad never, like, at least with my mom, I could say like, maybe I could give her some wiggle room. My dad, he never ever calls me unless it's for a favor. But lately, they've been doing so much better with that. And then of course with the emotional component, it's definitely been getting better, which is a little scary. I realized, like, okay, I'm really not an emotional person. I'm only emotional with my man. And that's because I kind of worked on that. Of course, I mean, it's been 3 years. You kind of have to, you know, give some wiggle room after 3 years. But when it comes to my man, I had to be attentive to that, right? I had to work on that relationship. But with my parents, I never had to. So again, recently my mom pissed me off. I was doing something for her, and then she just kind of like threw a whole bunch of shit at me, like, oh, I need this, I need that, you need to buy me this, you need to get me that, and oh yeah, this. Like, it was just so fucking annoying. I was already not in the mood that day, and then she was just like, oh, I need this, buy me this, mind you. And one of the things she asked me for was so ridiculous. Like, mind you, my mom has box braids in her hair right now. She's like, oh, don't forget to buy me a wig. Why would I buy you a wig when you have box braids in your fucking hair? And it was just like, it was so annoying, because I just gave her money. Like, I gave her money, and she's like, oh, don't forget to buy me a wig, and then don't forget me to get this, and then don't forget me to take you here. It's like, can I get a thank you? Like, can I get a, like, and that shit got me hot. Like, and I just got there. I hadn't been in there for like more than 5 minutes. So like, I walked in there, she's throwing all these things at me. I didn't even get a thank you. And that's the thing, I'm one of those people, I'm very, very like gracious, and I'm very like nice, and I don't do nice things just to get a thank you. I don't do nice things to get recognition. I'm not one of those people that films homeless people when I'm giving them shit, trust me. But my parents, my man, my friends, I expect some fucking gratitude. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. I expect y'all to be somewhat like, thanks, Yvana. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't care about it. I'm human, and I think that's a reasonable ask. And even if it's not every time, I don't want my friends or people I'm really close to like just be disregarding the shit that I do. And I'm very, very big on just don't do nice things just to expect something back. I don't do nice things to expect something back. I've never have been that type of person. However, it's so fucking disheartening and annoying and like just soul crunching. Yeah, I get the point. It's so wrenching when you're sitting here doing all of these like out of the ordinary, out of the way things for people, and they can't even open their jaw, they can't even open their mouth to be like, oh, thank you. Like, they just take, and it's like, bro, like, I'll never forget forget, on Christmas, I gave my dad his Christmas gifts. He didn't even open them. He didn't even look at them. He just said, you should have paid my phone bill instead. That hurt. And again, I'm not doing things specifically to get the best daughter of the world prize, but that's disrespectful as fuck. Back to the fucking story. My mom pissed me off within fucking 5 to 10 minutes of being there, to the point where I just fucking was like, yeah, I'm out. I started walking towards the door and my dad was like, oh, where are you going? And I'm like, oh, I'm going home. He was like, why? You just got here. I said, your wife pissed me off. Like, literally, I said, your wife pissed me off. He's like, oh, no, come here. Don't drive when you're mad. And he literally put me on his lap and he hugged me. The last time I got a dad hug was when my dad was going to Haiti, maybe 3 years ago. Bro, it was a long time ago. I don't even think I got a graduation hug or something. Like, I think I count on 1 or 2 hands how many times my dad has given me a hug. My mom kind of hugs me a lot now as well. Like, that's also something to know. Like, my mom hugs me a lot now. You know, it's very interesting. It's like, wow, complaining, bitching, voicing my concerns seems to be slowly actually helping. Like, he actually gave me a hug. Like, he bounced me on his lap and gave me, and I was like, I almost cried. I was like, wow, I don't know what to do. Like, I felt like a child again. Like, I felt like I was 4. I was like, damn, this is very weird. I don't know what to do. Like, I was just like, he was like, don't drive when you're upset. Go sit in your car for like 10 minutes, then leave. Like, it was just weird. Meanwhile, my mom thinks this shit's funny. The whole time she thinks this shit's funny. I'm like, yo, I can't fucking stand her, bro. I wanted to fucking, yo, I was so mad. I was like, whatever. I did actually follow his instructions. I did stay in the car for like 10 to 15 minutes, then I drove off. Honestly, the total of that whole encounter was maybe 30 to 40 minutes. I literally stayed for 10, sat on his lap for like 5 to 10, sat in my car for like 10 to 15, and then drove off. Ridiculousness. So then I ended up coming back maybe a week or so later. I got my mom's tax stuff because she said she doesn't trust my dad with taxes anymore. That's a whole nother story for another time. And I'm trying to get my dad's tax shit together, but apparently there's one tax form that might be at the old apartment, because apparently my best friend's dad now lives at that old apartment and found a tax form. That's a whole nother time. Anyway, so I pulled up there and I'm about to leave, and as I'm leaving, my mom's like, oh, if there's a tax return this year, and mind you, that long story short, my mom hasn't gotten a tax return for years because allegedly there's some sort of government withholding going on where we don't know. We think that my dad might have been concealing the money, but anyways, she's like, if there's any tax return, you know, you just keep it for your wedding, you know, in the future. I want to be able to pay for the dress. I was shook. I said, you want to be able to pay for my stuff? Listen, my parents have not talked about my wedding. My parents have not talked about anything. And my parents have not given me any money towards my college since my first semester. Ever since then, I have not gotten any college money. They have not bought me not one thing for my apartment. They have not helped with my rent. They have not helped with my car. They have not put money towards any payments. I've literally done everything for myself. So that was just like, did y'all know my parents send money to Haiti before they send money to me? So I'm like, wow, like, thank you. Like, I didn't know how to feel, what to say, what to do, because finally, you know, it does bother me. And you know, it's funny because I feel like that's probably part of the reason I don't want anyone from Haiti to come here. And call me selfish, but I don't give a fuck. Those are my parents. It's the same thing with Ricardo. It's like, I don't like that. I'm like, you guys put Ricardo over me. You guys put all these other family members over me, and fuck them, because they don't even deserve that. They're rude as fuck. They're disrespectful as shit. They don't deserve any type of anything, you know. And it's very interesting because I'm actually sitting here and I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, I kind of feel, I can't even feel, because I've talked about it a few times. It's the neglect part of it. I've been neglected a lot. And it's like, no, you guys put money into their pockets. I don't give a fuck if it's only $20. When's the last time you gave me $20? When's the last time you gave me 50? Shit, my parents don't give me shit, really. Like, they really don't. So I was like, nah, you gonna bring all these migrants here, and then no, I don't care. I'm 28. I feel 8 sometimes, you know. And it's like, nah, those are my parents. Can't have them. And I don't care if I sound selfish. I don't care if I sound childish. I don't care if I sound immature about it. Those are my parents. And they're getting older, and I kind of want to cherish whatever time I have with them, even though they do have their kinks and their quirks. They were way better than a lot of Haitian parents that I know. They did let me go on my own path. They didn't beat the shit out of me. They do have their toxic traits. Ooh, child, they're toxic ass best traits. But they do seem to be working on it. You know, they do seem to want to change. They do seem to care, at least, at the very least. And they've never tried to get me to do something that I didn't want to do. And that's what I can say is better than a lot of other people. Yeah, they've tried to be like, oh, you have to do this. But then I'd be like, no. And they're like, okay, well, whatever. You know, but like they've never tried to hold me against my will or try to like really get me to be something or go against something that was truly against my beliefs to the point where it was detrimental. You know, so I truly do love this change that I'm seeing in them, even though I don't know how to really truly embrace it. But definitely comment down below. I'd love to know, like, have you ever spoken to your parents about how they made you feel or how you grew up with them or anything like that? Because I'm not even gonna lie, this past year I've been telling my parents straight up, like, yup, I don't like that you guys didn't show up to my shit. I don't like how you guys be pissing me off, asking me for money all the time. I don't like how you guys be calling me every single time you guys need things. Like, I told my parents everything, you know? And I know there's a lot of people that are like, oh, they're gonna take it as disrespectful, oh, they're gonna hit me, oh, they're gonna cut me off. But to be honest, you'd be surprised. A lot of your parents, they probably really don't know how the fuck you feel. And if you tell them how you feel, they'll probably take it way better than you think, you know? So if you have, let me know. Comment down below. If you haven't, let me know. If you will, if you won't. And most importantly, how do you think it will go? How has it went? Because I love to hear it down below. I love this journey for me. Let's see in the next year or so how it ends up going, because it's very interesting right now. With that being said, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, do all that, and most importantly, go subscribe to the other 2 channels. Yes, I have 2 channels. My main channel deals with rants, reactions, and commentary on the Black community, and my Haitian channel is based on Haitian politics, voodoo, folklore, and of course growing up Haitian American. Please join the Patreon for more support, exclusive content, early uploads, and things like that, and feel free to join the Discord where the mafia congregates. With that being said, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, do all that. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of that good shit. Everything you need is gonna be linked down below. Bye, y'all.